This video was brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get top quality razors delivered to your door starting at just $1 a month. Link below in the description. Skip it up and that up. I have wanted a reason to bury Alex Jones and InfoWars.com for years. I used to watch his shit, I used to read InfoWars, and then I just one day woke up and realized that they were frauds. And most of the stuff they do is to freak people out and build like this kind of shell of fear that people get trapped in. So even when they talk about the most ridiculous things that anyone with logic would question, their fan base, their devout fan base, just eats up everything they say, even when it's so fucking out there that any logical person wouldn't believe them. Well, they're bringing the iPhone 6 into Alex Jones's world of retarded conspiracy theories, and the new one now is Hairgate. If you didn't hear, because I guess there's like a gap in the phone of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, if you have a beard or long hair and you put it up to your ear, sometimes it could pull out a hair follicle. Well, InfoWars.com has their serious conspiracy theory as to why this may be happening. And it's as ridiculous as you could ever imagine. It's a minute video. I'm going to show it in its entirety. Just watch and laugh and be depressed at the same time. Here it is.
I'm Joe Biggs with InfoWars.com, bringing you another tech update with the new Apple iPhone 6. You know, we've already done reports talking about the biometric scanner they have in here to use to take your thumbprints, but it's for your safety, it's for your security, so only you can access your phone because the government, nobody out there is trying to steal your data. But a couple weeks ago, I had to show you a report where I sat down over here with my phone and we went through the user agreements, and it clearly states in there that the NSA is trying to look at our data. And they said they're not responsible for any data loss on your phone. So where are those fingerprints going to when you start sticking your hand on here and putting that? Are they storing them? Are they saving them for something? I don't know. You can decide about that. But there's a new thing out right now, Hairgate. When you stick your phone up to your ear and pull back, it takes out a chunk. That's a hair follicle. What is Apple up to? This is crazy. It's mind-blowing that they're doing this. And is it on purpose? Is this by accident? Who knows? But we'll let you decide whether or not iPhone is trying to take your personal DNA or they're making crappy phones. I'll let you decide. Make sure you put that down in the comments section and tell us what you think. I'm Joe Biggs with InfoWars.com reporting on Hairgate.
Okay, Joe Biggs, let me get this straight. You're trying to get at that what you think Apple is doing is they purposely design the phones to pull out your hair so they could collect DNA evidence from your hair and give it to the NSA. Okay. You want to? People are going to say, Rich, how do you know they're not doing this? Can't you just crack open the phone and look and see if there's any kind of sensors that could even remotely do fucking something like that? Did you ever think of trying that, Joe Biggs? Cracking open the phone, giving it over to a technician that you trust, that maybe he could look at the phone and be like, oh, look, there's a sensor right here, and maybe it is looking at your hair follicle and getting DNA evidence from it, even though that's fucking ridiculous, and they would probably find a much more subtle way to do it. And then on top of it, wouldn't you, and then speaking of subtle, wouldn't you think maybe they would do something a little bit more inconspicuous? Maybe since people talk on their phones, they spit when they talk, maybe there'd be a way they could collect DNA from spit. You only need 2 milliliters of spit to get DNA evidence from. Seems a little bit more practical and not as obvious instead of pulling a fucking hair follicle out of someone's head. I can't, man. I can't do it. This is the most ridiculous, and people eat it up. They eat it up. They're like, oh my God, I bet that's what's happening. The Apple is part of the Illuminati, and they're getting our hair and giving it so there could be FEMA camps open up, and they could find our information and collect it from us. I know that's what's happening. That's what Hairgate's about. It's an evil plan between Apple and the elites and the Rothschilds. Oh, they're coming to get us all. The phones are just built like shit. There's a gap in the phone. There's a gap in the Note 4 too. All the fucking flagship phones seem to be built like crap from Samsung and Apple recently. Because you hear there's a gap in the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 where you could like stick a credit card and crap in there because there's such a big gap. Maybe it's already fixed. I don't know. I haven't kept up on the story. But this is what Alex Jones and his group of InfoWars jackasses do. They turn every single thing into a conspiracy. Now, am I saying trust the government? Hell no. I'm not saying trust the government. I'll be the first person to tell you to look into things and not trust everything that the government tells you. But when things like this happen, you have to think and grow a brain and realize, really, Alex, you really think that they're getting a hair follicle from our heads and yanking it out, and they're looking at the DNA evidence from it? And if, like, do some research into it, man. Like I said earlier in this video, open the phone up and see if there's some kind of sensor in there. You're just making idiotic assumptions without doing any research on them. But that's the thing, he has such a big audience that is so enamored with him that if you question anything, he's like a god to some people. And if you question anything he does, people jump on you and say, you're a hater, you're jealous, you're part of the elites, you're part of the Illuminati and all this other shit. And it has nothing to do with it. I just keep my third eye open. I look into things, and I don't just blindly trust anybody, because everybody has an agenda. And when I see bullshit like this, these ignorant videos that have no research backing up what they're talking about, and oh, it pulls the hair out of your head, so there has to be a conspiracy behind it that are trying to get your DNA, but even though I haven't looked into anything, I'm still going to say that's what's happening. Fuck you. And what cracks me up, Alex, is stop selling your fucking snake oil and vitality remedies and all this other bullshit. You tell people not to trust that shit, and then you turn around and sell it yourself. It's like you're selling snake oil, man. I'm so tired of this guy. I'm so glad he talked about something tech so I could finally rip him a new asshole. The bottom line is this. I'm not telling you to totally hate Alex Jones, even though I do, but just keep your third eye open and read into everything. Don't just blindly trust anybody. Read into everything so you could find out the truth, because the only way to find out the truth is to read between the lines and look at the gray area, not just read one article from either NBC or through InfoWars and say, hey, I know the facts now because I read something from InfoWars or from MSNBC. That's not how it works. No one out there is going to tell you the entire story. That's just how human beings are. All right, folks, this is Rich of Review Tech USA. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one.